gathering that we have once a year in the Archdiocese of Milwaukee. Father Mike Montoyo spoke last year. His challenge to us was to make this happen everywhere in each parish. One of the things, and our Archbishop has moved down to New York City. We had Timothy Dolan in Milwaukee, and we're blessed with 6 years of his wonderful presence, in which he made Catholic formation and education one of the priorities, and said that every parish had to support a parochial school because they're just kind of, as all of you know, around the country, losing numbers steadily. And so I said back to him, if every parish has to support parochial school education, then every parish really has to support mission beyond our parish boundaries. So we came for exactly that reason, to go back to work with our World Mission Ministries office to try to be able to make that happen. And my challenge to all of you who actually are from mission societies that are religious-based is to try and find some models that parishes would be able to use, because they are not going to have a starting gate for this. It's going to be brand new. And how can we be involved beyond our own parish, and besides giving money, which is one of the things that you're really saying. Maybe it is to donate to support with a cluster, and clusters are getting to be the thing now, a missionary, a lay missionary, or maybe it's to support a medical missionary, or something one of the sisters that taught in your school 100 years ago is trying to accomplish in the same order today. But it's got to be something that they can really grasp and put into their hands to become, as Sister Rhoda said, the handiwork of God. How are they going to hold the handiwork of God in their hands? And I really hope it can happen. We're going to talk about mission near, and we're going to talk about mission far. I just have one personal comment. I'd like to say to all of you who made this happen in New Orleans, thank you. I ran for the Division of Health Services in Milwaukee, a shelter operation where we received the people from New Orleans, and was responsible for the health care of them. And I'm returning to work now to be sure that refugee and immigrant, my work will be with refugee and immigrant populations to be sure that the H1N1 flu passes them by, and that we can prevent as much of it as we actually can. But the first thing that happened at that meeting was people were not sure about who was coming, and I heard this black pastor from one of the very large black churches be very confused, and his thoughts and thought. He went to another person he knew was a Catholic, and I was standing right next to the man, and he said to me, he said, "Boy, did we really miss on these things, Marvin?" He said, "Everybody coming up here is Catholic, and we have all these black churches. What are we going to do?" And Marvin Pratt, who had been the mayor of Milwaukee, said, "Well, I suppose in the next week or so." He said, "You don't have time in the next week or so to do it." I said, "I will call Archbishop Dolan right away, and I'll call his secretary and tell him you'll call him within an hour." Archbishop Dolan came to supper that night, and he with the refugees, and every other night. So when I go out, I'd like to really see, the other end of it, because we didn't see that. I had been in Guatemala, and 23 indigenous communities up around where we were had been in Guatemala 3 days before Katrina. Were also buried in mudslides. The rainy season had started and became mass grave sites. We never heard about that. Mm-hmm. So as we tour, let us not forget those people as well. Amen.